What's up, guys? How is it going? Now, with the NFL season coming to a close, it's time for us to start focusing a little bit more on the NBA. Now, I am kind of a long-time NBA fan, but I got to admit, since getting into the NFL, which I kind of blame you guys for, the NFL and college football, you got me way into it, I've kind of fallen off the wagon a bit with the NBA. I'm not really sure what's been going on so far this season. I normally only tune in towards the end of the regular season, start of the playoffs anyway, like fully. I know a few things have been going on. I've been following Wemby a little bit. I've seen Draymond Green's antics on the court. We've seen a few things here and there, but we're not fully clued up. So this video today is just going to catch us up a little. Everything the 2024 NBA season is proving so far. So let's dive into this and we're just going to learn. Maybe you guys might even be the same. In my streams, I've heard from a lot of you guys that you don't always follow the regular season. So let's just get a nice little recap before we start diving into some more NBA content here on the channel. Let's go.
2022, it felt like the
Warriors
were literally on top of the basketball world. As they normally do, they seemed to find a gem late in the first round who was playing like the third Splash Brother in Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson came back and wasn't quite the Klay Thompson we knew, but it was great for the morale of the team. And
this guy's dropping a little freestyle rap on us. Sorry. Is he doing this on purpose?
Top of the basketball world.
Sorry.
2022. It felt like the Warriors were literally on top of the basketball world. As they normally do. They seemed to find a gem late in the first round who was playing like the third Splash Brother in Jordan Poole. Klay Thompson came back and wasn't quite the Klay Thompson we knew, but it was great for the morale of the team, and he had his moments. Andrew Wiggins made the entire basketball community apologize, becoming one of the more versatile two-way wings in the sport, and it looked like he found a home. Draymond was still the loud Draymond, being the anchor of the team, and of course, he's going to let everybody know how good they actually were. And Steph, he had one of the best.
I saw Draymond was saying he's getting his bags packed ready to go to the Olympics. What do you guys think about that? He's going to start an international war out there. He's going to elbow the wrong Russian in the face, and before you know it, it's all kicking off.
Overall seasons of his entire career. This propelled them into winning their fourth championship in like an 8-year span. Match that with the contracts they maintained and what looked to be the perfect blend of young and vet talent, and it felt like this team was actually going to have a shot at even more success going forward. But 2 years later, this thing seems to be over, and I mean for real this time. As I record this video, it's December 9th. If you go back to November 9th, the Warriors have been one of the worst teams in the entire sport.
I didn't know they were that bad.
They're actually down there with the 4 worst teams in the NBA. Why? Well, out of everybody attempting at least 7 threes a night, Klay Thompson, one of the best shooters ever, is one of the worst in the league. Andrew Wiggins is actually having the worst season of his entire career. He's very inefficient, and he's a minus 82 when he's on the court. That's by far the worst on the team.
I'm here for the downfall, guys. Honestly, I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I'm here for the downfall. I've been rooting for the Boston Celtics for like the last 10 years, and I've seen no success. Well, we've had bits of success, but no rings on fingers, you know what I mean? So I'm here for the downfall.
They still turn the ball over at an extremely high clip, as they always have. And Stephen Curry, he simply needs help. Jordan Poole wasn't the only problem with this team, and that's evident. If they don't make a major move, and I mean a big move by the deadline, I truly believe it's safe to say this run is officially over. And I mean for real this time.
Don't care.
Today's video is sponsored.
I'm very happy to see the end. Like I said, you've been breaking hearts. You've been breaking hearts for way too long, Golden State. It's time for your time to come to an end.
When I'm watching him, I don't think he has. I think he was toying with the league to a point of kind of like disrespectful. Like, like it's so sweet out here. Like,
for real.
Like I can do what I want out here. You know what I'm saying?
I might be complete. Is this Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett? I didn't really watch. I say I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I didn't really watch during their era, which is unfortunate, but I used to play him on the game. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Have they got a podcast? I need to check this out. This could be my NBA version of the New Heights podcast. I did not know they had a podcast.
Yeah, like he
need to get back in the lab.
He needed to get back in the lab and just get serious for a little bit.
Yeah,
and he looks like he's having too much fun in other places, off the court.
That's Paul Pierce. I'm sure that's Kevin Garnett.
He does not even look like the same Jordan Poole from Golden State.
Even though Golden State struggles weren't all Jordan Poole, he was a major issue for that team, especially in the postseason. Jordan, with Washington now as, I guess, the face of the franchise, it's crystal clear that he's not the guy to lead any team, even a bad team. Before the season even started, he made a comment that personally I really didn't rock with. He said his legacy was set in stone for that championship he won, and essentially it feels good to play and be the face of a franchise with no pressure. Well, this year, Jordan has been one of the worst players in the league, especially
not the right
given
mentality,
the volume in which he shoots and how much he has the ball. The Wizards, they're obviously one of the worst teams in the sport. Jordan has played in 20 games this year. In half the games he's played, this man has shot under 40%. Half. We know.
He had a game there, .182.
No, he's not Steph. The added attention he gets now being quote unquote the man in Washington, it made him way less efficient.
That court is horrible,
makes very
man.
bonehead decisions.
Burn
every
that
player
court.
this season, Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, two players that won championships with legends, and I guess they can play free now. They have the two worst plus minuses in the league. That duo is terrible. Out of every player that shoots as many times as Jordan Poole does, he's one of the least efficient in
Yo, Wemby's on that list, you know. Wemby's right there at the bottom, -143.
the league. Not to pile on this man, but Jordan Poole isn't quite what we thought he was, and him having his own team, quote unquote, well, it aligns perfectly with the Wizards' direction because they're getting a very high draft pick, hopefully. The Rudy Gobert experiment, it actually works way better than we originally thought. Last year, it was their first year together, and they battled injuries, and they made major roster changes during the year. So we never really got to see them at their full potential. I remember doing this exact same video last year and saying the exact opposite. I thought it was a major fail. But like Ant even said recently, Rudy Gobert is actually the reason they're as good as they are right now. Yes, Anthony Edwards' development is a big reason they're good. He's the superstar, the face of the franchise, obviously. But the reason they're arguably the best team in the league is their defense, led by the Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner currently, Rudy Gobert. Minnesota, they have the best record in the sport. Minnesota, they have the best point differential in the West. Minnesota, they're giving up the least amount of points a night. Minnesota, they're giving up the third least amount of points in the paint. That's the Rudy Gobert presence. Minnesota, they're second in the league in blocks. Minnesota, they're forcing teams to shoot the least efficiently in the entire NBA. And like 90% of that is Rudy Gobert.
I've not watched NBA for way too long because I didn't know this was happening. I need to start playing the NBA game again, man. I remember playing the game as well where they had like Minnesota had Ricky Rubio. Did they have Kevin Love on there as well at the same time? I can't remember.
Rudy Gobert has the best individual defensive rating in the sport. Rudy Gobert is second in the league in blocks. Teams are shooting the worst 2-point percentage in the league because of how much court this man actually covers.
Rudy?
Oh, and he's grabbing the third most rebounds a night. All he really ever needed, even going back to Utah, was wings that can guard the perimeter, and his greatness was always
to get that rebound though.
If you want to know his true impact on how and why they're actually winning games,
good
the
defense.
Timberwolves, they have the 16th best offense in the league. That's below league average. But how nasty and tenacious they are defensively, number one, led by Rudy Gobert. That's the reason they have the
defense
best
wins
record in the
games.
league. And that trade and the contract, it's more than worth it. We were all wrong. Zion Williamson, he's just not that dude, bro. He's just not talented, but I don't know if he's ever going to be fully committed. Physically, this man is just way out of shape, and you could just...
I'm bored with the Zion stuff, man. I'm completely bored with it. Like, it's just so stupid. He's going to look back at the end of his career and be like, what the hell did I do, man? Imagine having that God-given talent that he's got and just throwing it down the drain by just not eating right. You can have personal chefs, man. You got all the money in the world. You got no excuses. You got all the money in the world. Get a personal chef. It'll still make you banging food. And just don't overeat. Come on, man.
He looks heavier than I've ever seen him, and he's not
moving
well. And to me, it's extremely unfortunate. I actually supported him. If you go back to my bold prediction video, I said I thought he would come back determined and hungry from the public humiliation he had all last year. And it looks like it's the polar...
He came back hungry. Look at him. Of course he came back hungry.
Opposite. It sounds nitpicky because he's talented and he's always going to put up solid numbers for most people. But he's averaging career lows in points, rebounds, field goal percentage, and defensively, he's very lazy. It's sad because New Orleans, they have one of the best
put this quote in the bin as well
in the league. They have like 7 players averaging double figures. That team doesn't really lack much. They have wings, they have size, they have shot creators, they have potential.
Superstar.
But what should be the best player on their team at only like 23 years old, he doesn't seem committed, and his main problem coming into the league actually seems to be getting worse.
What is he doing?
The Philadelphia 76ers, they don't really need James Harden. Now,
this is something else I've seen recently, the whole controversy about the MVP award, and I know it's to do with Joel Embiid, and you have to play a minimum amount of games. I can't remember how many. Is it 55 games or something? It might be 65, I think it might be, actually. And some people are for it, some people are against it. I agree with that rule. I think you've got to play. I think it's like 80% of the games. You should be playing 80% of the games if you're going to win the MVP award. I think that should be a given anyway. To be the best player in the league, staying healthy is a part of that, and being present is also a massive part of that. And I see why they're doing it. I agree with what NBA are trying to do. They're trying to stop this management of players so much. And I get you shouldn't be playing if you're not healthy, but if you are healthy and you're sitting out games, it's not right. Fans are spending a lot of money to go to these games. I think of it from my perspective. If I came over to America to go and watch a game and then the star player wasn't playing, I'd be fuming, man. You'd be fuming.
I'm not saying this to diminish.
Sorry, I'm having a few rants here,
what
right?
he's done, or how good he was, or how good him and Embiid were last year. They put up historically great numbers individually and together. But the offense without James Harden is actually a little bit better. Now, all of it isn't the absence of James Harden. A lot of it is Nick Nurse and how free and fluent the offense is with his coaching.
Okay.
Last year, it was very stagnant and predictable at times. But this year, they're scoring more points. Joel Embiid is averaging a career high again. And not only that,
fantastic
he's
player.
6 assists a night. Without Harden, and obviously with way more opportunities, Tyrese Maxey, he's taking a massive leap. The
I'm not familiar with Maxey.
They're the only team with two players averaging at least 27 points a night, and both of them are averaging at least 6 assists in the process. Again, this isn't all because James Harden is gone. A lot of it is the upgrade in coaching, in my opinion. But so far, look at the difference in this team from last year
points,
as opposed
rebounds,
to this
more
year.
assists.
They're scoring more points, they're grabbing more rebounds, they're dishing out more assists, more steals, less isolation, a little less efficient.
There's only one stat on there that matters, and it's the very bottom one. Win percentage is up.
But they're still winning at an even higher percentile. James Harden, we know, he's an iconic, great player that's done a lot for this league.
Fear the beard.
But the drama he gave that organization, it was never worth it, especially when collectively as a team, they're probably a little bit better without him. Kevin Durant being traded to the Suns with Bradley Beal eventually joining, creating another super team.
Ooh,
it feels exactly like Brooklyn West. Right now, they're 12-10, 7th in the West, and as loaded as that team looks on paper, they just can't get on the floor. It's weird because Kevin Durant always feels like the glue and the most stable. He's the oldest, like
Kevin
always,
Durant's a
and
freak.
He's still carrying the load. Kevin Durant, at like 35 years old, he's only missed 1 game. Devin Booker has missed 6 of the 20 games. Bradley Beal has only played 3 of the 20 games, and that big 3, they haven't played 1 game together. Literally, all the questions we had when this big 3 got assembled and why nobody really believed in it, it became a thing as soon as the season kicked off. Yes, these crazy KD big 3 super teams, they always look crazy on paper and scary. But this deep into the year, we have no idea what it looks like or when we'll have an idea what it looks like. And it feels exactly like Brooklyn.
Well, you got to say, though, if they're 12-10 and none of them have even played together yet, if they get that going right, come the end of the season when it's playoff time, it could be something special brewing there.
Lastly, the in-season tournament is a major success. Personally, I really didn't know what to expect with this. And
we should have paid more focus on this. We really should have.
How exactly it was going to go. But Adam, bro, he truly cooked and made November-December basketball fun. Basketball junkies, they always knew how great Tyrese Halliburton was. Like, the man is generational. But the Pacers, they don't really get many televised games. But now, watching him and his team take down the Celtics, one of the heavyweights in the East, and then the Bucks, another one of the heavyweights in the East, and possibly the Lakers with LeBron and AD, now he and the Pacers, they're on the map now for the world. The old NBA saying of the season doesn't even really start until Christmas, that seems to be over because Adam, he created an environment and something to play for early in the year that never existed. If you guys like this video, please.
I did like this video, so go and check it out. The original video will be down in the description, so you can go and subscribe to this guy. Please do subscribe to me as well. We are on the road to 21,000, so if you can click that button, it is a massive help to our YouTube channels. It was good to get a little catch up on this. I did see that there was a part 2 drops to this as well, so maybe we will check that out down the line. And like I said, the NFL season is coming to a close. The college football season ends before the NFL, so we're kind of left footballless. We originally started this channel doing all the sports, so that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to start taking a look at the NBA now, then the MLB when that comes into full flow, Shohei Ohtani, the LA Dodgers and all that, you know what I mean? So a lot of sports will be happening on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.